Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to another video, and I have actually decided to make a devlog on my pixel horror game Bane of Dawn. And yeah, because many people have actually played chapter 1 of Bane of Dawn, and I've noticed that that I should make a few improvements on Bane of Dawn chapter 1, and also I'm currently working on chapter 2. So if you haven't checked out Bane of Dawn, I'll link it in the description. You can get it on GameJolt and itch.io, so yeah. But so what I decided after I watched some YouTube videos about my game, I seen that the game is very empty, so the halls and rooms are very empty, so I decided to make some chairs actually in Blender and put the chairs in. So the next thing I wanted to do is make a proper intro scene, so I've just made a quick animation and made a loading indicator on the right bottom, and just wrote Bane of Dawn and press any key to continue. So now you can actually, if you start the game, you actually have this intro scene, and then you go to the main menu. I just think it looks better. You don't really need it, but I just think it looks better, so I made this. And I have also made a few improvements on the main menu, because I think it looked pretty ugly. So, and now when you go to the main menu, it's not just black with text. There's now images of the game that sort of move in the background. So I just made some images, so the main menu looks way better. Also, I have improved the options menu, so now you can actually not only choose if you want the image effects or not, you can now also change the volume of the game. And this was so hard to save it, because every time it didn't save the volume properly, and yeah, then you would start the game and the volume would just reset every time. So that was pretty hard to make, but now it's fully working. So now you can actually just decrease or increase the volume of the game. Also, I have noticed that many people actually find the game either too hard or way too easy, so I actually made a difficulty setting. So I made difficulty settings, so now you can choose between story, easy, normal and hard. And yeah, so I think that would be better, but also the normal one is a bit harder than it was in chapter 1. Like in chapter 1 there was no setting for difficulty, and I think the difficulty was on 4, and now the normal is on 6. And just the hard one is actually on 15, so yeah. So now I actually did this, so everything is working properly. And on the chapter 1 I also made a few improvements actually. So the first thing is, you when you remember from chapter 1, you actually had to walk, you just had to walk on those fuses that you have to collect. By the way, if you didn't play the game, this video contains very heavy spoilers, so if you didn't play it, maybe play it before you watch it. And also for chapter 2 there will be major spoilers, so if you don't want those spoilers, you can just close the video. But yeah, for all those who don't care, you can watch it. So you probably remember, if you played chapter 1, that you have to collect the fuses, and you have to collect them by just walking over them. But I think it's a little bit boring, so you now have to press E to collect them. So you have to walk over them and then press E. So I think it's a little bit better, because yeah, it was pretty boring. You just had to walk around, and I think it's pretty boring. So now that changed. Also what I did is, you now in version 0.1 or 0.1.1, when you got all the fuses, when you collected all of them, and you got back to the door, then the door just disappeared. So yeah, that was pretty crap. Also the fuses are like automatically in the fuse box, and you didn't have to do anything, and I just think it's just boring because you just had to walk around. You didn't have to press anything. So now if you have collected all the fuses and go back to the door's actually closed, and you have to put in the fuses. You have to put the fuses in the fuse box, and then the door actually opens with a nice animation. So I think it's way better than that. So now the really spoilers come. So if you're maybe planning to play chapter 2 and don't want any spoilers, just close the video now, because those spoilers are really heavy. So now I'm gonna talk about chapter 2, and I'm not gonna say the name yet, but you start chapter 2 of course in the same hallway when you go through the door, and then you have a big room, and what I did there is actually made some lights. The rooms now actually have a ceiling, which in chapter 1 wasn't the case, so yeah, that's pretty cool. They now have a ceiling, and on the ceiling there are lights, and some lights are on, some lights are off, and some are flickering every random seconds. So that's pretty cool. Also, what I did is implement doors. So now you have to you can open doors and close doors, but for some doors you will need a key, so you have to search the key, pick the key up, and unlock the door. So what I also did is then what I did is you basically can now, you have items now, like a flashlight. You have a flashlight in the game, a axe, and a pistol actually. So but you don't have it right on the start, you have to collect them. So when you go through the first door, you can go left, and there will be some room, and there you have to collect some valves, and if you have collected all of them, you will actually get to a room with the flashlight. I haven't done the room with the flashlight, but yeah, I'll do this probably this week. And then I plan that you just go get the flashlight, then the light will actually turn off, and then you have to just go the way through this thing without light. And I haven't actually done anything with the axe, only the axe model, but nothing like to collect the axe and how it should actually work. So by now you can't actually even use the axe, you just have it in your hand and you can do nothing. I did implement shooting for the pistol actually, but it doesn't do any damage by now. So if you shoot against anything, there's just no damage. So I'll definitely do that later on. But that's actually, I think, everything I did for chapter 2. So chapter 1 will get a major update, and yeah, I hope chapter 2 will actually be way better than chapter 1, because chapter 1 was just very short and not that polished. But I actually tried to make everything look a bit better now and make the game a bit more polished actually. So yeah, that was actually kind of it. If you liked the video, you can leave a like. If you want to see more devlogs of Bane of Dawn or other devlogs, you can of course subscribe. And if you want to play Bane of Dawn for yourself, I'll probably put a link in the description so you can play chapter 1 right now. And I'll say I see you in the next video. Bye.